Let me show you a tasty way to use the leftover buttermilk after making butter. This buttermilk is not cultured. This is taking uncultured cream, turning it into butter, and then the liquid that is left over, which is referred to as sweet buttermilk, is this right here. And there's different things you can do with it, but I'm going to turn it into a tasty chocolate dessert. And if you're wondering how to make butter, there's a link to my video in the description box below. To make this, we start off with 4 cups, which is 1 quart of our cold sweet buttermilk directly after making butter. And you can see there's no heat on right now. So everything we're going to add is all going to be to this cold buttermilk. We're going to add in 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of cane sugar, and 1/8 cup of cane sugar. You can add more sugar if you want. And 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. You could use a different type of starch if you need to. Okay, so remember, everything's cold. Now we just mix it up. Now we're going to turn our heat on, and we're going to slowly, see, I just turned the heat on. We're going to slowly heat it up to a boil while stirring, at this point, stirring pretty frequently, at least until all the clumps are broke up and it's all smooth. Right now on my gas stove, on my propane gas stove that is, I have it on about a 4, just for reference. And I'll come back to you in a bit. You can see all the clumps are gone and it's smooth, but it's still very watery. All right, so now at this point, we're just going to keep an eye on it. We're going to stay here and just, try to stir somewhat frequently, often, okay? You don't want to let it sit too long on the bottom because, it could, like that cornstarch could go ahead and gel up at the bottom. Then you would just have something not very pleasant. All right, so while I'm waiting on this, I want to go ahead and say where I got this recipe from. There's a lady named Andrea that is on another platform that I use, and in the comment section, she had said this is what she uses her buttermilk for, and more specifically, her buttermilk that has slightly gone a little sour. She makes this, she turns it into chocolate pudding, which is what we are making. We have made it several times. It always turns out, and it's delicious. Also, if you wanted, you could add different flavors at this point. You could add cinnamon, cayenne, nutmeg, I don't know, whatever you wanted. Once this is done and it's removed from the heat, then we will add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You can see it's starting to thicken, but it's not to a boiling yet, okay? Now at this point, you definitely want to keep stirring non-stop. I can feel it wanting to cook to the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and lower my heat just a little bit. It's on about a 3.5 now, maybe a 3, maybe a 3.5. Okay, you can see it's getting thicker now, and if I leave it sitting, you'll see little bubbles starting to boil. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set the timer for 1 minute now, while stirring constantly. All right, so our 1 minute timer went off. Go ahead and just see here. See all the bubbles and boiling? Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn our heat off. Now we're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract and stir that in. You can see it is still steaming, and I just got it off the heat, and you can see it's already on the surface here, starting to set up. We're going to go ahead and pour it into a dish and store it in the fridge, and once it is all cold, then it is ready to be served. Okay. Okay, and there it is. Like I said, we'll store it in the fridge and I'll show you what it looks like when it's cold. Here's the pudding. Now that it is all set up, you can see it's jiggly. And that is one way to use buttermilk.